All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us today, joining me today. I have with me my new dear friend, Jason Gonsalves. Did I say that right?
Jason Gonsalves. Did you say it like that?
I tried. No, I think I said Jason Gonsalves.
It's okay.
But Jason Gonsalves.
Jason Gonsalves.
Gonsalves. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. I have with me my friend, Jason Gonsalves.
Mm-hmm.
Did that get close?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And we're wearing masks because COVID-19. If you have not heard Biz Marquis, somebody else's remix, go listen to it. But anyways, Jason is an actor, a writer, and I told him I would not mention something else, so I will not.
Please don't.
I won't.
Cool.
But yes, he decided to join me, and let's learn a little bit more about Jason. All right, Jason, tell us everything, starting from conception.
I can take this off, right?
Yes, you sure can.
We just wanted to promote safety, guys.
Please wear masks.
Yes.
Even after you've been tested and everything. Because, remember, when you take off your mask, it's like jamming your mouth into that person.
Yeah.
So, actor and writer. Let's start with acting and writing.
Okay, so acting is like my number one passion.
Mm-hmm.
I love acting from a young age. I got really into it because I was always watching movies with my brother. I think like one summer we literally watched Lord of the Rings every single day. And we watched
when you say you watched Lord of the Rings, you mean you watched all three? The entire
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, extended editions. And we also watched behind the scenes. And that was pretty much like every movie. Why are you Yeah, so I don't know, I just feel like a sort of home nostalgic feeling when it comes to like films in general. And then when I got older and I started doing theater, I was like, damn, this utilizes everything that I love, and it just took off from there. And now as an adult, I realize I love acting because it shows you the perspectives of so many different people that you might not otherwise think of or even like relate to. And by the end of the movie, by the end of somebody's performance, you can sort of see their viewpoint and change how you see the world in a way.
I love that. I think that's one of the reasons too I got into acting is it's like being a psychologist, but in a different way.
Definitely.
You're studying the human mind, the human condition, and you're trying to take in so many different experiences if you're doing it truthfully and artfully. So yes, I agree with all of that.
Yeah, and that sort of ties in with why I got into writing as well. I know being a person of color, you probably as well can identify with like auditioning for roles that don't really make sense or like interest you.
Oh, my eyes are already hurting from going so far in the back of my head where it's like,
yeah, like,
please tell me more about that because look.
Yeah, like there are certain things that like I don't mind, I guess, playing the stereotypes up on. But also like there are, with the lack of genuine stories in comparison to the lack or to the influx of stereotypes, it's like outweighing it, you know what I mean? And then it just makes you, it just distorts reality. It's like it's not my reality,
right? And that's, I think that brings into the larger conversation of representation does matter. Like,
hell yeah,
being able to see yourself on the screen or different forms of media where it's like, I identify with that, because it's very powerful when you see yourself and you can identify with that character, that person, whatever, where it's like you feel less alone. It
saves lives, in my opinion. It also mends relationships. It elevates relationships. It just does a lot of different things. And so when I write, it's a chance for me to get those voices out, get that representation out, get my perspective out so that people can hopefully see a different lens, see a different way of living, and characters that excite me personally to play or I know would excite my friends that are in this community.
So that brings up a really interesting question of like, it's couched in the question of like what informs your background, but what are the stories that excite you? Like what Where were you born? How did you grow up? Like those sorts of things.
So I grew up in Florida, pretty much. My dad was in the Air Force, so we moved around from base to base when I was a kid. Don't really remember living in Panama, like the country Panama. Mm-hmm. But why are you... What?
I love military brats. I'm a military brat too. I love... Yes, come on. Even though we joke about the Air Force people being like so bougie.
Don't say it.
So
Don't
bougie.
say it. Somebody told me the Chair Force. I was like, that is so disrespectful.
It's like,
But
that may be true, but you don't say
I was about to say, because my dad definitely, I think, was in telecommunications, but anyways, I moved around from different places. We settled, I remember being in Virginia for the longest.
Okay. Do you mind me asking which age is in Virginia?
What ages?
Yeah.
Oh, so I would say maybe 4 to... When did I start first grade? 2001. So that was
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, probably 4 to 10, I would say. And then I moved to South Carolina.
What part of Virginia?
I think it's called Greenland.
Is it around the D.C. metro area or no?
It's near the D.C. because I remember going to D.C. as a kid. But we were on a military base, so it was kind of confined. I remember riding my bike around. I remember rollerblading. I remember catching fireflies. It was a cool time in Virginia. And I remember going outside and seeing snow for the first time. But that was for a brief time. And then we went to South Carolina for a little bit.
What part of South Carolina? I'm gonna make you tell lies.
Okay, maybe this was the place called Greenland.
That makes more sense.
I don't remember. It's a base in Virginia, an
Langley?
Air Force base. I don't know, to be honest.
All right, that's fair. The only reason I asked is because my parents were there from 2004 to 2005.
Oh, really? In Virginia?
They were in Virginia, in Fairfield, Virginia. Springfield.
I know that my dad told me that, it ended up being flooded after we left.
Okay,
so...
that...
Okay.
But I know that he worked for the Department of Defense, and so, maybe they crossed paths or something. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be interesting, but I don't think they did, because my dad, he ended up getting... he had to leave the Air Force because he hurt his knee. And that was around maybe 2001, 2002. Okay. I'm not exactly sure. I probably should know these things more concretely, but...
Why? Why would you need to know them?
You right. South Carolina, though, was nice. I got to know a lot of, my Filipino heritage there.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Tell us more about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. As far as, Filipino heritage, I tried a lot of the foods. I tried a lot of, I did this embassy suite thing. It was, a whole performance. Maybe this is where I kind of got my inkling to perform, but we did, these traditional Filipino dances. We, met every week, and we danced with, coconut shells.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember, literally rolling on the ground in the fetal position at some point. I don't remember why, but it was part of the dance. Mm-hmm. It was in front of a whole bunch of people. And then, like I said, the food is, a major part of that culture. They eat some weird shit.
Tell me more.
Eggs with whole baby chicks in them. This dish, I'm pretty sure it was called Bloody Mary, which actually had pig's blood in it. But there was also some good shit, chicken adobo is really good.
What's chicken adobo?
Chicken adobo is potatoes and chicken
potatoes.
And carrots, I think sometimes. But it's sort of this nice gravy that goes with white rice.
That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's so fucking good.
Mm.
It has I try to make it myself, but I put way too much vinegar and soy sauce.
Is there a large Filipino population in South Carolina? So how did being in South Carolina allow you to explore more of your Filipino heritage?
Because my dad was in the Air Force still, so my mom is Filipino, and we went to go live with her Auntie Minda, which is basically her adoptive mother. Mm-hmm. So basically my grandma, but we called her Auntie Minda, and I lived with her for a whole year. Just while my dad was transitioning out from the Air Force into he wanted to live in Florida. So he was looking for a house in Florida while we stayed in South Carolina. And so I was just basically around my Filipino family all the time for a whole year. And it was honestly awesome. I loved that time, but after we moved to Florida, I didn't really see them as much. So, yeah.
It's a weird thing I've noticed in not that, but accessing your mom's side of the family. Like for me, that was a lot more grounded experience than accessing my dad's side of the family. If that makes any sense.
It does make sense because I sort of feel the same way. I feel like with my dad's side, they're a lot more scattered.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to like pinpoint them all in a specific location. With my mom's side, they were all in South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes. Like, yeah, my mom, she's from Georgia, South Georgia, and like all of our family lives in South Georgia, and we would spend summers there, and I have great memories of like my mom's side of the family, like just spending summers there and being with them. So, yeah. I'm kind of projecting a little bit on you. Your experience of like
now you just talking back,
right? Okay, so South Carolina, and growing up and getting to experience the Filipino side of your family, and then in turn,
then I went to Florida.
Okay,
and Florida was a wild experience. I mean, growing up in Florida, you have a lot of different cultures. To be honest with you, that I had the privilege to be like encountered with. Starting out, I lived in Tampa. This is very diverse there.
Okay.
But then from there, I think moving into the 5th grade, literally the 5th grade is when I went to Plant City, which is very conservative farmland area. So,
where is it near? Where is it still near Tampa?
It's near Tampa, but Plant City, I mean, the name just gives it away. It's a very rural area,
It sounds like it. It sounds like a SimCity city.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just think of like people who listen to Taylor Swift.
Ouch.
Okay.
Ouch.
My bad. Let me preface that. Taylor Swift.
I know what you mean.
Okay, well, see, you know what I mean is, so you can't even say ouch, but
I
no,
love
like
just being mock offended.
But like, not Taylor Swift now. Taylor Swift now is actually pretty dope. I like that she's speaking out and saying things and more than just what's that? Every girl that I knew in Plant City was singing that song where she's like talking about.
I should stop right now.
Wait! No, the song where she's like something about letting her hair out in a car.
It feels like the perfect night. Get drunk at midnight.
What is the chorus to that?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling.
Oh no!
That was definitely pop phase.
That was that's like I'm talking about pre-Taylor where she was wearing those like crinkles with a guitar on the cover.
Look, now that we brought up crinkles,
So yeah, think about the crinkles with the guitar. Those type of people.
Ouch.
Nothing wrong with those type of people. Nothing wrong, but
maybe we should stop using the term "those type of people."
Nothing wrong with those fans.
Mm-hmm.
Those fans of Taylor's age. But think of Jason, or think of you. Maybe you're into that. I don't know.
I'm not into crinkles.
Seems like you're into crinkles, but
okay. I made a whole post about how I don't. I wanted someone to explain to me what crimping your hair did. Like, why? What was the appeal of that? I'm assuming that's what you mean by crinkles.
Is it crimping?
It is crimping. Well, okay, for her it was curling.
It looked like a crinkle. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, looks like to me.
Because it did look crunchy, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like
stiff and
crinkly.
Crunchy. Like, you tried for curls, but
like a ruffle. And no, nothing. Hey, don't hate on Taylor's hair. You know, that was in at the time because...
I feel like we're getting off topic.
We're getting off topic.
But, just to be clear, that was not in at the time. That was definitely not in. That was not in.
Leave Taylor alone.
I don't think we were coming for Taylor. We were just acknowledging she had a past. Every sinner has a past, and every past has a feature.
You gotta be careful with her fans. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not Beehive or Barb's level.
Look, wait, Barb.
You don't know what a Barb is?
Just kidding. I do. When
Who?
you say it like that. Who? Nikki.
Okay.
Wow.
About to say.
Rude.
You didn't know what Barb. You know what? Let me stop.
Look, I am a little bit.
We're not in that. We're not in Beehive Barb territory. We're not even in Navy territory. We're a little below that when it comes No. She has a large fan base.
All I'll say is that when I go to get my eyebrows did, I have to turn onto Cornelia Street, and all that I can play in my head is that little boop, 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 boop from Cornelia Street, her song from that album.
Who are we talking about?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, see, I don't listen to Taylor like that. I didn't listen to her until probably that album where she had that song, All You Had to Do Was Stay.
All you had to do... Oh, I don't know that. But that was before my time.
I think it's called 1989. That album was a very good album.
That was a very good album. Cornelia Street is the only album that came out in 2018.
Is that the one where she was, like, promoting the snake after she got, like...
No, that was the one before that, with Ed Sheeran and others on, and also like the rapper.
No. We're not doing this. We're not talking about Taylor Swift the whole talk show. Where's my phone?
No, we're not. We're not. But what we are going to do is get some things right. That album was where she went back to basics. She ended the snake.
You went right back to it,
and she
know what?
It was It was.
I should have known this was coming because. You was the same motherfucker who was talking about... Let me not come for you.
Wow! No, come for me. Come for me.
You was the same motherfucker who was talking about, like, Beyonce. You didn't watch none of her shit, and you couldn't really sit through poetry, blase. But you could sit through Crinkles and something called Cornelia Street.
Okay, alright. So here's what we're gonna do.
Clearly... Oh, wait, hold on. First, is this the album you're talking about?
No, that has Shake It Off. Go further into the future.
Red?
No.
Oh.
No, future. Future.
Reputation, the one where she was promoting all the snakes.
And then you go to this one where she tried to be a lover. Lover.
Oh, I forgot about this album.
Cornelia Street. Yeah.
Cornelia Street?
Yes.
Because you saying Cornelius.
No, I was saying Cornelia.
No, you were saying Cornelius.
Wow.
Bring it back. Y'all heard
Wow.
It. Y'all heard
it. All right. And
y'all heard
let's just talk about Beyonce for a second since you brought it up. Look, what do I do every morning? I listen to Beyonce.
I've noticed that you've been posting a lot more Beyonce since we had our conversation. Don't let him fool. Don't let her.
Whoa. You need to go back in the past and know that, look, you know who I've been with since the beginning? Destiny's Child. You know who I listen to every single day?
We ain't talking about Destiny's Child. We talking about Beyonce.
You know what I was doing yesterday? I was listening to Beyonce singing Countdown.
Of course you were.
Jimmy Fallon.
Because you knew you was wrong when you was talking to me.
Look, do I write sketches that poke fun at Beyonce? Yes, I do. But
and that's how you know.
But do I?
That's how you know she ain't down with the cause.
Whoa! Hold on. Thank God. Thank God this wig is holding on for his dear life.
Hey, I felt some like wind coming from that wig.
Yeah.
Is your head okay? Because I get headaches when I start doing that.
Angry. You can't come for someone who is a card carrying member of the Beehive. The
No.
Okay.
She ain't. You don't hold no membership to the Beehive.
I do. I'm in the Beehive. I'm in the agency, but I am not in the sorority because that's when you've watched all the stuff, and I can't.
No, that's the basics to enter the club. Is to watch and promote and to listen to Beyonce.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
It is. Because if you haven't heard, just like how you know Cornelia Street by Taylor Swift, you have to know Angel by Beyonce. Do you know Angel by Beyonce?
So that's all the time we have
My bad.
for today.
It's called No Angel. You know No Angel?
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much. No, we do need to cut this episode, but we can continue this conversation. So join us as we debate whether or not I know Angel. I don't.
It's called No Angel.
No Angel.
And